Previously on Season 1 of STARFLEET Leering Center.
Okay, fuck.
You can curse what you want.
When I say 60 years of Star Trek, what goes through your mind?
The first thing that comes to mind, I feel like I'm in a erasure shock. Fuck. There's the test where like they show an image and you like guess whatever comes to mind. Worcestershire, whatever.
I cry a lot in general. We're actually in therapy for that, but I shed so many tears.
How would you compare, I'm jumping in, normally I do some fun questions, no. How would you compare your captain to the previous captains that have been on Star Trek?
I can't.
There's a new Star Trek television show that's going to be on. So I did a Star Trek show.
For the money.
Set.
So much love
I
on that
can't
set.
say this enough. It looks so expensive.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I hope this works.
No, it is expensive.
Yeah.
Season 1 in 3 words. How would you describe it? New, sexy, adventure.
Yes.
Fun,
Yeah.
emotional,
Yes.
scary.
Yes, very scary, very sexy. It's getting real scary and sexy here at Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
As much as I would love to write the Ben Sisko love letter that only speaks to people who already know the canon, like I was tasked with also working really hard to handhold and bring in brand new people, some of whom are very young.
I did what I did, and then I walked off to the side, and I was kind of like, fuck, like shit, fuck, I don't know what's going on. And then Holly, you walked up to me, and she was like, wow, like, you're doing an amazing job. You're really great. Like, in your own way, you said you ate that, Holly. Holly was like, you ate that. You ate that. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I did. And in that moment, I went forward. I was kind of like, you know what? I'm a bomb. Jaded is a bomb-ass Klingon. I deserve to be here, and I am doing an incredible job.
Hello, cadets, and welcome back to the Movie Blues, where today we're going to be exploring the most chopped series in the history of Star Trek for the 10th consecutive week. And yeah, that means today is the day we've all been looking forward to, the day that this shit ends.
I have never, ever been happier.
If you haven't yet seen the rest of my series on Starfleet Academy, you're going to want to roll that dial back to episode 1 and check out all 10 hours of absolute misery. All right, are you all caught up? After you've liked this video and subscribed to the channel, we will be happily heading out to the far reaches of Federation space for Alex Kurtzman to take one more diarrhea shit on my brain. Engage. We open on last week's cliffhanger, where She-Hulk is shocked to find that her once forcefully separated son has been raised in an ICE detention center and has even become an ICE agent himself. And now she's standing face to face with Christy Peach Tea Gnome. So naturally, She-Hulk begins to panic.
Here. No, we can't be here. I don't know what she told you, but we have to. Can we leave? We have to leave.
I have a situation.
No! No! No!
No shade, I don't want to be here either. So Granny's Peach Tea beams everyone to the bridge, where Femhadar Oprah and the sworn keeper of Imhotep's scarab-stuffed sarcophagus drop in to brief the crew on their situation. Turns out that Nugs Broccolini and his army of Venereal have set up a minefield across all of Federation space, encompassing hundreds of planets and endangering the lives of, as they say, 160 billion people. So Ardeth Bay tells Peach Tea that there are hundreds of mines, not thousands, not millions, hundreds of mines, even though on this screen that they showed earlier in the episode, it looks like there's like maybe 30 or so. I don't know what this is supposed to represent, but regardless, there are hundreds of mines walling in Federation space, which makes up hundreds of planets and millions of miles and light years of infinite space, and they walled it in with a couple hundred mines.
We're going to build a wall. It's not even, believe it or not, It's not even a difficult thing to do.
The time, effort, and scope of setting up a universe-wide trap of Omega-47 bombs. Oh, by the way, really discreet subtext here, guys. It would take several battalions of manpower, time, precision, and cunning to pull it off. Something that a dude with a tic-tac-toe board on his head, who's only ever been shown to have under 5 ships in his fleet, would find awfully challenging. And by all that, I mean, I think it would be challenging. I don't know, because after 10 hours of this show, we still don't know the Venereal's size, capabilities, homeworld, power structure, breadth of resources, how they came to power in the first place, what their beliefs or goals are, or what their endgame is in attacking the entire fucking universe like a James Bond villain. Hell, until the last episode, I didn't even know that they were humans. I thought that they would all look like Nugs Broccolini, but I guess he's the only mudblood in the gang? I don't know.
Well, what's happening, McNugs?
What's up, McNugs?
What's your Skype handle, Chomo?
How Starfleet somehow missed Nugs Broccolini and the Venereal setting up mines all across Federation space, walling it in. How no ships happen to be passing in or out of any planets at the time to see all of this being set up. It's friggin' beyond me. Well, it's beyond me and the writers.
It's such an incredibly smart group of writers that came together to make this that I'm just like, yo, we can't miss.
What is going on with you? What are you talking about? You sound insane.
I guess Starfleet doesn't monitor their own systems whatsoever. They're too busy, like, separating kids from their parents or whatever other dastardly evil plans Kurtzman's Federation is up to on any given day.
What about Discovery? Can they jump the perimeter through the mycelial network?
Don't you dare bring STD into this. The universe has been burned enough.
What about Discovery?
No, the fields are synchronized in a subspace frequency. A jump might trigger a detonation.
Thank God. Hearing that Discovery is not going to make it into this show has me feeling more relieved than Alex Kurtzman's Filipino boyfriend after he got his negative HIV test back from the doctor following last year's Star Trek cruise. Much like the Death Star, the Omega-47 wall is controlled by a single subspace relay, which, if taken down, will deactivate the entire web of Omega bombs lickety-split. Before anybody points out how utterly ludicrous it is that a galaxy-spanning minefield has a singular power source, the Venereal warp in from parts unknown.
If anything happens to my son, I'm gonna kill you.
If anything happens to your son, you'll be doing me a favor.
I don't see any world where a Starfleet captain would say anything like this.
I'm 422 years old. How much do I care about certain things that people care about? You know, protocol, the right way to do things, what is correct. Some things just fell away.
So if Caleb is hurt or killed, is Peach Tea just going to let Orphan Black behead her in front of Starfleet Command? I wonder if Ardeth Bay has any buyer's regret from hiring this friggin' loony bin yet. Anyway, another big empty promise coming out of that crooked little mouth.
I love your crooked little mouth.
Janet Reno brings all the kiddos into an airlock where Nugs can't track them because of, like, air pressure or something. Meanwhile, back on the bridge of a Carnival cruise liner from 1993, see, I told lesbian Tom Cruise that this was a terrible week to store all of those fireworks on the bridge. But no! And just like the vicious rash that Alex Kurtzman got from the cuck chair at the Days Inn San Francisco, the Venereal just keep coming back.
Come on, who are you kidding?
I'm back!
I just love the idea that Nugs Broccoli and his crew had to sit in the exact formation of the Athena's bridge before being beamed over. Like, Nugs had to sit in a chair, facing the exact position he assumed Peach Tea would be standing in, and beam himself in that exact pose to make this aura farm possible. Or at least I assume that's what he had to do since, again, in 10 hours, we haven't seen a single bridge of the Venereal ship. Maybe it's exactly like this. I don't know. Who knows? As per usual, Broccolini starts villain monologuing using modern-day slang and references to Earth's literature and pop culture.
Well, you're alive! Like Lazarus, but shorter. So you practically sang the Pledge of Allegiance.
yeah, 1,000 years in the future, an alien would not know what Lazarus was, and he surely wouldn't know what the Pledge of Allegiance was, especially after governments and the United States haven't existed in like 1,000 years. I doubt even people on Earth would know what the Pledge of Allegiance was. Anyway, go away. I'm busy.
Does surprise me is just saying you here with her. What a puzzle. Is this like an enemy of my enemy thing? Enemies-in-law?
So yeah, this is pure like MCU, Disney, Marvel horseshit writing. We could easily deduce that this was an enemy of my enemy is my friend situation without somebody having to say the trope out loud. This is for like Disney-fied adults who spend half the time of every episode they watch staring at their fucking cell phone. Oh, they said the trope out loud as a joke, which makes it okay to use the trope, free of criticism, because the writers are aware of it. Great job, guys. You're so meta.
I would love to sit in a room and just write Star Trek for Star Trek fans only.
Yes.
However, it is a new world. It's the streaming world. We have to bring in new viewers. Ignoring that is like just not reality.
So Nugs Broccolini decides that he's taking She-Hulk and Peach Tea onto his ship, and the rest of the crew can go get bent. Because everything that the writers of this show do feels like ramming an elephant into a mini coupe, Nugs allows Nala to bid goodbye to her crew, which she uses as an obvious way to transmit a message to the Doctor.
Any last words for the pathetically loyal, nearly departed?
Leap clear of all that is corporeal and make yourself greater.
But of course, Nugs is suddenly too stupid to understand an obvious ploy like this because the writers need him to be.
Oh shit, wait. You're Stephanie Nugs.
What's up, Steph Nugs?
Literature. Quelle sophistication. Ah. So stupid. It's kind of amazing to think that that was entertaining to people.
Anyway, it turns out it was a secret plan.
She was telling me to run training mission Hermes 19.
You sure we've never run this?
We're running it now.
And just like that, millions of Star Trek fans around the world erupted in celebration.
Yes! That's awesome!
The Doctor's holographic decoy worked, Commander Reno.
What the fuck?
No! No! The Venari Rawl ships have gone.
All done here, I guess. That ship has clearly been destroyed. Let's all just skedaddle. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did you guys want me to explain how 5 venereal ships couldn't detect that this was just a holographic decoy of light, basically, and that there clearly is still a ship right there floating in space? I mean, do you want me to explain that? Because there's no explanation. This don't matter.
None of this matters.
So the Doctor rematerializes after he uses his Doctor Strange powers, and it seems like either the EMH is broken now, or Robert Picardo started sundowning while the cameras were still rolling.
To the mango patch. Use more glue.
Obviously something's wrong.
At least he has something in common with his daughter, finally.
You're medical for the duration. Go.
For the 3rd episode in a row, Gay Worf is just like hand-waved out of the episode by Janet Reno. He has like 5 lines in this entire episode. Why did the writers decide to invent this utter abomination of a Star Trek character if then they were just going to ignore him for the majority of the season? Is this like post-woke nut clarity or something? Like, why?
Karim, DNA, Jaden, the fine-ass Klingon.
Pop quiz. All right, who can tell me what I need to fix first? Sensors. Minus for hesitating. You're going to keep us at 1/8 impulse.
That's less than 1,000 kilometers per second.
Solid B. Good calculating. But I am going to have to dock points for the attitude.
Oh yeah, this is a totally appropriate time to be like awarding and docking points from these cadets like it's the fucking Goblet of Fire. I mean, I think we are beyond a teachable moment here, lady. Lady.
Everyone understand their assignment?
Aye, Commander. Aye, Captain.
Not a captain.
What is the tone of the moment that I'm supposed to be feeling right now? Is it really time to make a funny? I just give up. Just go on without me. I'm fucking... So, Jesus Christ. Once again, instead of showing us the venereal homeworld or the interior of a venereal ship, things that would take some, imagination to design, and just like when the hologram world of Cask was just the Athena in black and white, this episode will center around a court trial for Peach-Chi and She-Hulk that takes place on, oh my god, you guessed it, the Athena. But apparently the venereal had time to do some, edgy hot topic set dressing, a little graffiti, some mood lighting, and some feng shui to the atrium to have their Judge Judy fanfic play out. We get it. You spent your entire budget on this set, and it's laughable, lazy, and boring to look at.
How many times I gotta tell you, get control of your temper?
So Nugs begins his evil villain speech, where he finally reveals the origin to one of the biggest pieces of lore this season.
We had nothing. We killed time just playing tic-tac-toe in the dirt.
Nice. I'm glad we've finally addressed why Nugs Broccolini has a 16th century children's game from Earth etched into the side of his head. Wait, that only explains why he picked tic-tac-toe, not how he knew about tic-tac-toe in the first place. Forget it. I mean, we got bigger fish to fry. Newstifer explains that his homeworld was starving to death, yet they could see Federation ships passing overhead day and night. So of course, Nugs and his daddy built a super weapon to attack the Federation, but when that weapon missed, the Federation attacked the Venereal. God, so many things here. First, Nugs Broccoli should have contacted the Federation about his colony starving, and they could have probably broached an easy way to save all of his people's lives.
Doth my Nugs bequeath me? You're Bangkok dangerous.
What's up, Bangkok dangerous?
Resources like food are in infinite abundance for the Federation, and their charter is to specifically help people in situations like Nugs Broccolini and his people were in. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe Nugs made the wrong move firing on the Federation first. Don't bite the hand that feeds, or don't bite the hand that has infinite food. You choose.
Pushed my poor father to his limit. He rigged up a weapon. He wanted to take down one of those life-saving ships, and he missed. And in response, the Federation strafed us with missiles.
All right, your weapon missed. Does that suddenly make you the victim when Starfleet fights back? What are the writers doing here? Is this guy a Donald Trump metaphor, or is he a metaphor for a refugee victim? This show's political takes are, so half-baked, it's actually confounding.
Anyone who yearns for transparency is welcome in my tent.
Turns out I'm the most, and I think most of you would agree to this, I'm the most transparent president probably in the history of this country.
So instead of Nugs Broccoli deciding the Federation's fate, he leaves it up to She-Hulk.
No better proxy for us as judge and jury than Anisha Mir. She alone will decide.
This is so fucking funny, man. Noose has been betrayed by this woman a few times. She even faked her death to stay away from him, and now he's throwing his entire world-ending schemes right into her lap to execute on his behalf. I'm sure this is gonna go his way.
Well, we'll see about that soon enough.
Meanwhile, lesbian Lestat is giving more hard-earned lessons to the cadets, including yet another backwards world Kurtzman lesson that no military organization would ever adopt.
We learn more when things go wrong than when they go right.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that history is not at all doomed to repeat itself, and that when we fuck up as a culture, it just never ever happens again. That's great. I feel great about that.
This is what it's like to be alone in space.
No, it isn't. I mean, you guys had so many people on your bridge that you had to send Gay Wharf into timeout for the rest of the episode. And can we stop with the fucking lessons, man? We had all year to do this shit. It's not my fault that you guys got wasted at the club and banged each other's ass butts in Ibiza all season. Maybe you should have been running combat scenarios in the holodeck instead of playing theater kid tiddlywinks with Captain Diabetes. Finally, Eyebrows gets the moment her character has been building up to this whole season. It's finally time for a serious person to take the captain's chair instead of a stroke-lipped cat lady with a mop on her head. Let's see how a real member of Starfleet takes command.
Wait, I think I have to pee.
I love a good peep show.
Back to the stream from the Venereal News Network, which apparently is fully in English. Holy shit, man. The idea of an alien race is so alien to these writers. If it doesn't look like CNN and have a bunch of curse words in it, these idiots simply could not imagine it. Basically what this court case boils down to is the writers trying to make it seem like Nugs and She-Hulk deserve empathy for their crimes. They're trying, emphasis on the word trying, to make us feel for them. But it just isn't working at all. Let's take a look at another popular Trek court case, the one from the exceptionally brilliant Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. In this movie, the Federation is absolutely guilty of their crimes, and it feels almost as if Kirk and Bones actually deserve their guilty sentence. At the end of the day, members of the Enterprise's crew did in fact kill an entire ship full of Klingon dignitaries. And the court case is meant to suss out the perpetrators as well as play with our conception of the Federation's morality and hand in the situation. They spend the movie setting up the racial tensions between both factions. And because of this careful writing, the court scene is really intense, and you don't even know who to side with as the entire script's moral and ethical dilemmas are balanced on a knife's edge. Whereas here, we know that Noose is a serial-killing tic-tac-toe psycho. We know that Anisha Mir did not need to kill someone for food when more diplomatic courses could have been broached. And we know that Starfleet isn't fucking guilty of anything. Also, this isn't a courtroom in an officially sanctioned governmental body like the Klingon courthouse from Star Trek VI. This is literally taking place on a fucking school bus that has been stolen, defiled, and whose children have all been taken hostage or murdered. So framing this final episode as an intellectual court case is not only derivative, lazy, and boring, it isn't even appropriate for the situation because Noose is literally holding the entire Federation hostage. Like if somehow Nugs Broccolini wins this court case, nobody is going to give a fuck because he's holding the entire galaxy hostage. If he wins the court case by some stroke of luck, he's then going to have to answer for the litany of crimes that he's committed in setting up the court case in the first place. It's just an Ouroboros of bad writing and bad ideas. And that's Kurtzman's Trek, baby. Anyway, the Oscar for worst overacting this season goes to She-Hulk's hands.
What did you risk for me? He did what they said they believed in. I needed you.
And tell me what you want from me.
I want it there when you close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and see me. That is the only way I get justice.
Girl, she has been haunted by this. The entire trajectory of the past, 30 years of her life has been based solely around the guilt from this situation. Even though, again, she absolutely did not do anything wrong. This really reminds me of how the awful writers of The Acolyte tried desperately to get us to question the Jedi Order when they were simply defending themselves from a bunch of gay witches who could turn into the smoke monster from Lost. They weren't guilty of shit, so the writing falls apart just like it did here. Anisha Mir deserved to be in jail. Noose Brocca deserves to rot in hell. And any attempt to make me feel any empathy for these ghouls is complete drivel, written by septum-pierced dullards whose one-bedroom LA apartments reek of sour kitty litter. Meanwhile, back on the Athena, through a bunch of emotional speeches about friendship and teamwork and quite a bit of crying, as well as a bunch of unnecessary science jargon that's happening while lesbian Lestat is grading all of the cadets' performances, the crew finally finds out how to deactivate the Omega-47 mines.
Dad thinks, and I agree, if we reduce the room particles, the remaining gluons might be able to stabilize those molecules at the heart of those mines.
We can transmit an algorithm over Grok's frequency that adjusts the particles to this concentration. The mines will be stable and harmless.
We could bring down the wall.
Finally, to locate the other half of the Athena, Betazoid Alpha Cups takes Caleb to their shared psychic mental bang prison, where Caleb tells her to use the most important element of Kurtzman Trek science: emotion, to find She-Hulk's Judge Judy episode. She uses his memories of his mommy to find the exact location of the Athena, and with that extremely hard to believe moment once again quickly snuck under the rug before you can even think about it, the cadets are off to stop Nugs Broccolini.
Wait, you're Stephanie Nugs.
Back on the Athena, the trial is about to end with Peach T's closing statement.
I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs.
And no, I haven't skipped half of this episode just to make my life easier. Truly, this entire court case included an opening statement from Nugs Broccoli, a cross-exam from She-Hulk, and then bam, it's over. Once again, a kind of solid idea this season is just rushed through and truncated and written so sloppily that it doesn't end up fulfilling the promise of the idea that they've set up. It's just, here's an idea and then a bunch of fucking hooey, which eventually streamlines the entire episode into yet another content-free and generally lifeless imitation of much better and more serious works. Peach T makes Nugs and She-Hulk feel bad about the person they murdered that kicked all this shit off.
I'm speaking about the pilot you murdered. The pilot was Lieutenant Akamu Lee. He was originally from Seoul 3.
And hilariously, it's like the first time either of these bozos considered that murder is bad, and yet...
Nala Ake is guilty.
While I don't agree with this at all, I'm still rooting for it. To the gallows with you, Peach Tea.
You heard her? Guilty! Nala Ake is guilty!
That's a wonderful choice.
So, as part of the plan, Caleb turns himself into Broccolini's custody. He demands to be heard, so Noose, for some fucking reason, lets this man just have his own speech on public television, even though the trial is over and Noose has won. Seems like something Noose would allow. He's been totally fair and reasonable so far. Caleb gives a tremendously bootlickerish speech about how the Academy is bae, Starfleet is the homeboy, and the Federation is genuinely low-key chill for real.
For the first time in my life, I realized I have something to offer. I can be part of a community. These friends of mine have laughed more in the past year than I have in my entire life.
Same, dude. It's been like 10 weeks for me, not a year, but boy, have I sure laughed a lot.
And when that gets hard, we look to Nala. She believed in me, Mom. She's never given up on us.
Except for that time when she lost you out of a window and then didn't search for you, even though you couldn't leave the planet you had escaped the window from. She could have easily tracked you down. And then she convinced you to join Starfleet, your family's greatest enemy, under the promise that she would find your mother, which she delayed and did not actively do until 1 school year into the process. But other than that, Peach Tea has been a real help here.
That's Starfleet. They know what they stand for.
After 9 very long years of Kurtzman Trek, I feel like I understand Starfleet's intentions less than I ever have. I used to think that the Federation were like utopian saviors. Now they kind of just feel like fascist slavers held down by wildly imposed DEI initiatives.
I think I swallowed my combat.
I honestly don't even know where this Torta ended up this season. I mean, I figured she just got accidentally sucked out of an airlock while the Athena was separating. So using some weakly explained science, Caleb and Peach Tea reveal that Nugs Broccoli's colony, who was attacked by the Federation, were actually attacked by Nustifer's father by accident when his weapon to attack the Federation ships blew up in their planet's atmosphere, raining down hellfire onto Noose's own people.
That's a lie.
Is the person you want to follow into the future? An angry child with his finger on the trigger?
Now, I can't be sure. I'm not much of a writer or a deep thinker myself. I can't be positive about this. I will say that up front. But I feel like the child with his finger on the trigger of massive world-ending weapons that are called the 47 bombs, I'm digging deep. I think that they're talking about Donald Trump. I'm in there. I'm in the weeds. I'm in the subtext, dancing around the metaphors. After some concerned murmuring, Broccolini's audience begins to leave. Not because he's holding the entire universe hostage, but because his dad may or may not have been wrong about the Federation like 47 years ago. Oh no, we were cool with you when you were about to kill all of us and trillions of other people, but now that you're confused about your childhood, it's fucking embarrassing. We out of here, dog. So Nugs pulls the detonator and is about to push it when, you guessed it, just like Arya Stark stabbing the Night King, the absolute best character in the show, Sam, saves the entire universe, trillions of innocent lives, and ends the war against Nugs Broccoli. And she reacts about how you'd expect.
Before I even did my audition, I was like, I just need a hug from everyone in the room. So I hugged everyone.
That's the biggest Sam thing to do as well.
Because I was like, I can't even act right now unless I get some emotional support.
That's you know what? That's probably why you got hired.
Yeah, because I was so stressed.
No, because you went in, you gave everyone a hug before you started your audition.
I guess.
I've never heard of that happening before in my life.
You disrespect yourself. You are made of stupid.
Starfleet arrives to the mega gangbang, and Anisha takes out her rage on Nugs with a punch that was about 1.5 feet away from actually connecting. Holy shit, could you guys not do another take of this? This is hilarious.
You call that a punch?
No, she did not touch you. I mean, she also did a backhand punch, which just is going to probably be weaker in general. This woman is 5'2". She's like looks like 18 feet away from Nug's broccoli, this punch did not connect. Other than that, it was a real walloper.
Nala, I can't. Oh!
Okay, now Nala's punch, they edited a little more heavily because I think she was even further, but just look at this shit, man. This is actually so funny. No further comment. Everybody does huggies, and the war is won through teamwork, emotionality, bad science, poorly drawn moral dilemmas, and the most laughable court case in Star Trek history. Over a speech about home being where the heart is, we take one last look at our cadets, happily celebrating after a year of financial, physical, emotional, and mental torture for the audience, as well as the characters themselves. We zoom out on the crew over some more wildly inappropriate music for Star Trek. And with that, this generational shit show comes to an end.
Just get it over with.
And holy shit, with that being said, I am finally being released from my 10-week bid in the Starfleet brig. I knew this show was going to suck before I started it. I thought that it sucked throughout every episode of it. This is not Star Trek. You don't have to take my word for it. I have a lot of toys and garbage and t-shirts and shit that you're not even seeing here that would pile to the fucking sky in my house related to Star Trek. I have a Star Trek tattoo on my back, and if this video gets, let's say, 100,000 views, I will post a picture of my Star Trek back tattoo. But if it does not, then I will move on with my life. Star Trek is something I grew up with that meant a lot to me, and that's why I am so passionate about how much I hate this series. I hope that you were able to see past all of my naughty words and extremely judgmental jokes to see that I do love Star Trek, and that deep down I hope that it can repair itself as a series, and I don't think that it's dead forever. I just think that Kurtzman's Trek has had its chance, and another chance, and several seasons of several other chances, and it has pretty much been 99.99% garbage. There's no Andor in the bunch. This was pure, unfiltered, coffee-stained, Taco Bell-filled diarrhea that really, really felt like it had been released from a time capsule from 2016. And I'm here not to punish people for wanting to be diverse or happy or in their own skin. I am here to punish corporations like Paramount Plus, who think that actual entertainment is simply pandering to every audience that they feel is marginalized until everyone thanks them for being the Mother Teresa of diversity. And story needs to come first, script writing needs to come first, and until Star Trek can lean on ideas and science fiction before emotionality and weak pandering, then it's never going to escape the rut that it's in. I want to thank you all for joining me these 10 weeks. This has been a transformational experience for my YouTube channel. I've gained more followers from this series than anything else I've ever done. To those of you who are part of my channel for all the other content I've been making, found footage, niche horror, making fun of bad movies, I'm still going to do all that. Don't worry. The next thing I do is going to make you all very happy. And I'd like to strike a nice balance between stuff like this series and stuff that I'm actually interested in, would like to either recommend or beyond. So if you've only watched the Star Trek videos on my channel, go back. There's plenty of funny videos. There's plenty of making fun of cringe content type of stuff, but there's also a lot of things that I love that I recommend, and lists and deep cut dives into hidden gems, things that'll make your life better other than just me making fun of shit until I'm blue in the face. Until the next series, until the next video, until the next travesty of Star Trek or beyond, I will forever be your faithful narrator, DS Lion. Stay subbed to the channel. Stick with me. 2026 is going to be a huge year. It's already been incredible, and it's only going to get better. And we'll be seeing you soon. Bye.
Because I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I've seen all your movies, and I love your movies, and I think you're the best.